Your bishop uses salt. Why do you think Reverend Fathers bless water with salt? Why do you think they do that? Your bishop uses salt, your pastor uses salt, but they won't tell you. Take a pinch of salt in the middle of the night around 1 a.m., stand up, say whatever it is you want to say inside that water and salt. Welcome back to my channel. If you are meeting me for the first time, my name is Sandra. What I am about to share with you guys is what money cannot buy, because it's a divine revelation, something that was revealed to me years back by God Almighty, that your money may not even be able to buy this knowledge. And some of the people that even have the knowledge are hiding it. They are not willing to share it with you. So many of them collect money from you, millions of naira. I'm having goosebumps, okay, just to share this knowledge with you. But what actually triggered me to share this information out here is a woman that was selling smoked fish inside the market, a coca market precisely. That is my very good customer. I buy smoked fish from her. So after some time, I stopped seeing her. I'm going to briefly share the story as I don't have enough time. You may be wondering what I'm carrying in my hand. This is salt. This is just our normal cooking salt that we use to cook every day. So don't be scared. I'm about to share some vital information about salt with you. So back to what I was saying. This woman happened to be somebody I buy from, and she's a very cheerful, loving person. She plays with me every time I come to buy from her. Even if you're angry and you come to her shop, she will make you smile. She does not have a shop. She sells on the table. There used to be 3 there, and then later I stopped seeing her. So I began to ask questions, and I was told she suddenly stopped. And I was like, initially I thought it was a financial problem. So I asked for her phone number so that I could be of assistance financially, so she can start selling again, even if it's starting with 1 carton of fish. So when I called her, luckily I found her phone number, and to my greatest surprise, when I called her, she told me, I explained who I was, and she shouted. So she told me it's a long story that is not something she can share on the phone. I told her, okay, come, let us talk. And I invited her. I've had this knowledge for over 10 years. It has been over 10 years that I've had this knowledge, and I've been using it for myself, for my family, for my children, for everybody I know that actually needs it, free of charge, without charging anybody 1 naira. But the story of this woman actually triggered me to come and share it with you also. When she came, she visited me, and then I shared this. I asked her what happened. She told me that somebody always pulls to keep under her table, where they usually pack her table, and before you know it, she started encountering problems, and before you know it, her business money went down. This is not the first time it's happening. That it has happened like on countless times. She will gather money again and start again, and then once that person pulls, to come and keep there, she'll start having issues. Let me just say it this way: if you are an Igbo person and if you don't understand English, ọ bụ na ị nara anụ Igbo, biko chọọ onye ga-akọwa gị vidio a n'ọnụ Igbo ka o kwe gị ghọta. Ọ bụkwa na nwa efe mbọsị ọbụla m ga-akọwakwa ihe gbasara nnu a n'ọnụ Igbo ka o wee kwa anyị ghọta. So what am I trying to say? The moment she was sharing that with me, I told her that you don't fight physical battles, spiritual battles physically. Yes, it's a spiritual thing. Mmadụ inye nsi bute dọba na shop mmadụ abụrụ ezigbo ihe. For somebody to pull and come and keep in your shop is not a good thing. The person must have said 1 or 2 things to that pull before dropping it, and then you come and carry it away, carry your table with that same hand and come and keep without any cleansing, no prayers, nothing. Whatever they have said might affect you, especially when you are a lawful captive. Yes. Okay, so I asked her if she was suspecting anybody. She said yes, that she's suspecting 1 particular woman out of the 3 of them. So I told her, okay, no problem. Since you have a suspect at least, have you ever offended this person in any way? And she said yes, that she has offended the woman 1 time, that she told her customer that she uses groundnut oil to shine her fish, something like that, like leftover fish, overnight fish. because the customer came back to complain that the fish she bought previous day was not as fresh as the ones she used to buy. So I told her, why will you now condemn somebody's business just because you want to draw that customer to yourself? Long story short, I told her the implications of what she did, and I asked her, how did the woman got to know that you said something like that? So she said the customer later went back to her after she and that customer fell out, went back to her and then started patronizing her again, and that was how the customer shared the whole thing to her with her. And since then she told her that she's going to show her that she's an Nsoka woman. And before you know it, she started seeing that bull. She will gather money, that she needs nobody to tell her that she is the one doing it. But that because she has never caught her, there's no way she's going to accuse her. So I asked her, have you ever, approached her to apologize? And she said no. I told her, okay, no problem. Your primary assignment is to go and apologize to this said woman. First of all, apologize to her, then come back. I will tell you what to do. She said, okay, no problem. According to her, she went with her husband on that day and apologized to the woman. After the apology, she came and met with me. So I told her, now that you have apologized, you are no longer a lawful captive, because even the Bible made it clear that if there is no sin, there's not going to be forgiveness. When you offend somebody and you apologize, and the person refuses to forgive you, whatever thing they do against you will backfire, because you have actually apologized to that person. And the move for the means so that when that person is doing you, it will not work. That's what the Bible calls lawful captive and unlawful captive. You understand? When somebody is your lawful captive, this person actually offended you, and whatever you're saying or whatever cause or damages you relate to that, or whatever claims you're laying against that person will stand. Do you understand? And then when somebody did not offend you and you're praying bad prayer against the person, it's not going to work. She said she has forgiven you, right? Okay. Go home. Take a pinch of salt. In the middle of the night around 1 a.m., stand up. Say whatever it is you want to say inside that water and salt, right? Don't put the salt yet inside the water. Speak a word inside that salt, and tell the salt that the same way it gives sweetness to food and everything that we eat is the same way it's going to give sweetness to your life, that whatever causes or damages that anybody has laid against you is not going to work, right? And then you put that salt inside that water and test it. If the water now has salty taste, use it and bath and say whatever it is you want to say, right? Do the same in a glass of water and also drink. And provided anybody that eats salt, any human being at all that eats salt will not be able to harm you. Now, after telling this woman this, she left, and 2 days later, my spirit ministered to me that I should support her with 50,000 naira. I called her and I supported her with the money, and she left again. No, this thing I'm talking about happened, I think, last year. I think December last year, thereabout. I've forgotten. Was it that November or December? So sometime this year, she called me and said that she would like to visit. I told her, okay, no problem. And then she visited me with her husband and her children. They all came, kneeling down to thank me and all of that. I was like, I'm surprised. What is happening? So she told me how much what I told her worked for her and everything, and said she would want me to please not withhold this information. Because I told her I don't usually tell people this. I only say to people that come to me for problems, or people that actually, that I know it can work for, something like that. She said, Madam Biko, tell people, about it. Create more awareness about it. So that was how I slept that night, and I saw myself actually teaching a crowd, about this. So I made up my mind, I'm going to film this video to share with you guys about it. The weather is getting very cloudy. Okay, I'm back to what I was saying. That's what actually triggered this video. Now, this is salt. This is just ordinary salt that we use in our kitchen every day. I want you to have this at the back of your mind, that salt has very strong spiritual powers. Yes, if you don't know, learn it from today. You've listened to the story I shared. That woman is the least out of the people. She's the most recent out of the people that this mystery has actually worked for. So that's why I am teaching it, because she made that wish and I saw myself sharing it in the spiritual world. So I made up my mind that let me share it here, that I have audience, so that you can share the video and so many other people will get to know about it, right? Anybody that knows me know how much I don't joke with salt. Before I pack into a new house, I use salt to wash it. My children, when I have a bad dream about any of my children, I put salt in water, I speak to salt, send it on an errand, and then my child will lick it or put it inside water and drink, or put it inside water and bathe with it. So my children knows how much I use salt. My husband, initially my husband, was suspecting me if I'm an obanje or something. I give him scriptural backups about salt, how Elijah in Second Kings, yes, I think so, in Second Kings, in the book of Kings, I think Second Kings, Elijah was about to cross a water, and the people of that community told him that that water kills anybody that steps into it or drinks it, or that is a cursed water. So Elijah asked them to give him salt. They gave him salt. He blessed the salt, put inside the water, and purified the water. Salt has so many meanings. It stands for credibility. It stands for sweetness. It stands for purification. It stands for fidelity. It stands for so many things. Cleansing. But the one I want to talk about today is the purification aspect of salt. If you are under a curse, if somebody has cursed you, and this curse is actually playing out in your life, I want you to listen very well. All you need, stop going to prophet's house, prophetess's house. People that will tell you, bring goat, bring a cow, bring this, bring that, and use the blood on you. There is no blood that will speak greater things than the blood of Jesus Christ. No blood speaks better things than the blood of Christ, right? The only blood speaking better things than the blood of Abel, because Abel actually gave a beautiful sacrifice, an accepted sacrifice. His blood was speaking in the Old Testament, but after the coming of Christ, the blood of Christ was speaking greater things than the blood of Abel. So I want you to stop going to places where you go and give people money for cleansing. I think may cleansing and can cause. There are three types of people that this salt does not work for. There are three different kinds of people that salt does not work for. Number one is a woman that has aborted children, that has done abortion. Yes, I'm telling you, this revelation took hours, and it's been over 10 years with this revelation. After I had Danny. Am I having goosebumps? Okay. Salt does not work for a woman that is married, traditionally, legally, religiously married, and sleeping with other men that is not her husband. No other alole all. Salt does not work for onye buaka obala. If you have killed somebody before, onye buaka obala. No amalolo golo. These are the three types of people, that the Holy Spirit revealed to me that salt will not work for. Apart from these three people, if anybody has ever cursed you, that shall not be well with you, whether you have offended the person before or not, and at the end of the day, you've apologized to that person. Where it will not work is when you have not apologized to that person. If that person is dead, pray, fast and pray, and ask God for mercy. When you get that mercy, you're going to know. Yes, of course. When you find that mercy, you're going to know. You're going to have peace in your spirit. If you've ever remembered anybody and felt guilty, you owe that person an apology. And if that person has ever cursed you, and that curse is actually working, all you have to do is to apologize to that person, make peace with that person, then go to your kitchen. I did not say look for a special kind of salt. No. Salt is salt anywhere, whether packet salt, whether Thai salt, whether anyhow, industrial salt, anyhow, salt is salt. Salt is salt everywhere in the world. Salt, whatever they use to ihe ji alunu and a guti na mili. And we rock salt, and we sea salt. It must come from natural resource. It must come as a raw material before they now start purifying it to get this one. So what can we call that power? Only, especially when it's coming natural. If you happen to see sea salt, better. If you happen to see raw salt, better. But know ye that this salt you're looking at is not just ordinary chemical, no. Didn't just sleep overnight and wake up and became salt. So it's about to rain and the weather is very, very cloudy. But I think I love it because it's cool and it's a very beautiful weather for this kind of topic I'm discussing, you know, because behind it maybe here more, it's not a physical thing. With time, you guys will get to understand and know me better. So what am I trying to say? All you need to do, if somebody has ever cursed you and you apologize to that person and you get their forgiveness, all you need to do is to get salt. They look at you this way, stand the way your God created you. No contest, no lipstick, no eyelash, no weave on. Stand natural. Pass, my dear, pass. Stand natural and begin to break that curse. Begin to say whatever it is that that person has done wrong that is working in your life. Whatever it is that that person has said that is actually manifesting in your life, begin to counter it, disagree with that agreement, right? After that, put some of that salt in a water and drink. Use it and bathe. Do this every single day for 21 days. And this must be done after you have at least fasted for 3 days, asking God for mercy. Because sometimes when you offend people, the Bible said that no sin goes unpunished. Sometimes when you offend people, especially people with divine appointment on earth, yes, there are certain kind of persons that when you offend them, God himself will fight you for offending them. Do you understand? So imagine God bearing grudges against you. Even if that person has forgiven you, you've not earned that forgiveness completely. So what you're going to do is earn God's forgiveness and also earn the forgiveness of that person. Fast for at least 3 days, asking God for mercy. After that, do what I just said to you. Put some salt inside water. Mix layer. Use it and bathe. Put some and drink out of some. Let that salt be plenty so that every day you take out of that first one you used on that very first day and repeat the same thing. Do the same thing again. If you're breaking curses, do it for complete 21 days. Yes, complete 21 days. You don't need to pay anybody any money to do any spiritual work for you when you have this knowledge I'm passing across to you. The same thing goes to if your business is not moving well. Open your WhatsApp and shop daily. Do this same thing. Use the salt to pray for 7 days. After that, sprinkle it on your shop. Put it inside water. Sprinkle it on your shop. Then later you can mop it out. You can mop it out later. You understand? The same thing goes to a land that is cursed. If your family is under a curse, go to your village, buy salt. Before you go, pray with it anywhere you are. Go to your father's village. Make sure the salt gets there. Make that land salty again. Open the ground, bury it there. Open the ground and bury it there. It will mix with that land. And things will begin to happen. It will return sweetness to that land again. If your wife keeps having series of miscarriage, or if you're a woman, you keep having series of miscarriage every day, all you need is salt. Pray with this salt the same way for 21 days. Do this for 21 days. After doing it, use it and bathe. Put a little inside the water and drink. Do the same for your husband. Do it before you are confirmed pregnant. After you are confirmed pregnant, do the same thing. Pray with it for 21 days, the same process before you're confirmed pregnant. Repeat the same thing and watch what is going to happen. Watch if that pregnancy is going to be tampered with. I know how many people have stood in the gap for doing this for them, and it worked. Some of the children I call my godchildren today, salt destroyed, ordinary salt and prayer. So any area of your life you're encountering problems, salt can actually step in. If you want to know more or you have any question about this topic, please leave a comment in the comment section. I'm going to film another video explaining more about this salt. It's going to have a part 2. I'm going to film another video so that I will tell you guys more discoveries, more deeper things about salt. And my next topic is going to be coconut. 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 After which I will still tell you guys. After that coconut video, you're going to be wowed at the spiritual powers and components of that coconut you eat every single day. Alright, if you are a girl that keeps having series of disappointments, a young girl, men will promise you marriage, they will disappoint you. I want you to do this. If you get a new man, don't sleep with that man. Fornication is a sin. Hold yourself. Pray. If a man that is your husband comes, that man will definitely marry you. Pray with salt, and you're going to get delivered from that spirit of disappointment. Not just a girl. If you're being disappointed generally, if you're due for a promotion or for a particular position, you're due to get married, you're due to have a child, you're married and you're due to have a child, pray with salt. It has so much, so many powers, so much more that you can't even imagine. I'm being very honest. Your bishop uses salt. Why do you think Reverend Fathers bless water with salt? Why do you think they do that? Your bishop uses salt, your pastor uses salt, but they won't tell you. Some of these bad ones will collect money from you and pray with salt with it. That's the only thing they can do, because it's so supernatural. The components are too supernatural. Anyways, there is many more to talk about, to reveal about salt. But time may not permit me to do that today. I think this video is going to have a part 2. So that I can share more vital information. Say it in the comment section if you want this video to have a part 2, so we share more vital informations about salt. We'll go deeper about salt. Okay, having said this, say something to me if you have gotten value. I'm going to see you guys once again in another video. Bye for now.